news.
First things first. So J. Cole dropped Port Antonio. So this is our Port Antonio conversation. So we can take it however we want. We can take it wherever we want. But we're going to reference this part first because Joe Budden and his podcast, in a recent episode, they sat down and they reacted kind of in real time. You know, they played the record, went through it. And although most of it, they actually liked it. Generally speaking, there was a part where Joe Budden was a little
perturbed,
yeah, if you will, over J. Cole's like "I'm free from the big three" references that were in the verse 2. So let's just play that and then we'll just kind of get into it.
What do you mean you finally free, as if you never wanted parts of the big three conversation? That is a load of crap, and I'm not gonna let you just piss on me and tell me it's raining. Get the out of here.
He could have wanted parts of that and then saw where it was going and said, I don't want to deal with it.
Well, then go sit your ass over there with Sunshine Anderson and the rest of the people that you
Wow.
back up and say, if I woulda, I coulda, but then I woulda lost. No.
Any thoughts?
I completely agree with him on this. I mean, like, honestly, I feel like J. Cole, and the thing is, I like the record. I like the vibe. But, you know, he's rhyming over the Dead President sample. What is it? Lonnie Liston Smith?
It is.
Yes.
Good call.
Everybody keeps calling it Dead Presidents. That's like, no, that's Lonnie Liston Smith. That's who.
It's like
they don't do their homework, sir. We know that.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's a famous
in the garden or something like that,
or is it In My Wildest Dreams?
Right. I think Garden is in the title, if I'm not mistaken.
All I know is it's Lonnie Liston Smith, and y'all need to stop calling it the Dead Presidents, even though that's what you know it from. Like, please.
What do we know? What do we know? What do we know?
Anyway, and so I like the flow, but I'm like, you know, the way he's talking about, yeah, man, you know, it's a good thing I wasn't in that, or else it have got real and I'd have lost some friends. I was like, well, you know what, man, you bowed out gracefully, which the thing is, most of the people who are paying attention to the battle were like, yeah, that was the right decision. You know, nobody really was upset at you after, maybe Kanye West, but hey, you know, that's his problem. Because when you see what happened to Drake, you realize that was probably for the best for you to go ahead and get on that large stage and say how much of a fan you are of Kendrick and how and take, you know, your diss or whatever you thought you had popping off, talking about his albums are boring and nobody really likes him, knowing damn well that's not the truth.
He said he didn't mean it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can say that in you know, but now don't say, you know, had I jumped in, it had got really real. Yeah. I was like, well, you didn't jump in, fam, and you know what? You made a smart business decision by not doing so. But don't wait until after the smoke is cleared and we have clearly define who was the winner of this battle and say, man, it's like, you know, it's like, if I was there, let me tell you something, like, man, if it was me, like, we don't, at this point, dog, we don't care.
But at the same time, he said something along the lines of like, you know, I'm free from it. Like, I'm free from the idea of there being a big three anymore, and like,
how does that get him away from being away from the big three? Are you saying because now you are clearly you're not even in the big three? Because
maybe
I didn't really get that though, as far as him saying he wasn't a part of the big three.
Yeah. You talking about the free bar when he said like I'm free or whatever?
So they got you out of there? What are you saying? Why are you not part of the big three?
I didn't really take it as he was free from the big three. More so as free. His conscience is free. They're kind of the reason why he backed out in the first place, because he started feeling a certain type of way. So in J. Cole fashion, I'm not mad at him for addressing it now, which may lead to a rollout.
Potentially.
Essentially, you know what I'm saying? Now, I will say this, in my personal opinion, when it comes to this hip hop shit, it is a competitive sport. It is a sport where you spar. So it's like I can't spar with everybody else, and then when my counterparts that are on the same level as me, then I don't want to spar with them. Because if him and Kendrick have always had a pretty cool, friendly relationship, and I see Kendrick not going at him the same way that he went at Drake.
Right, absolutely.
So,
well, I think I think pretty much that Kendrick has had this within him bubbling for a while.
Oh, it absolutely. It's been there. And for those of us that seen the BET Cypher, right? I mean, he put it out there.
Nothing been the same since they dropped Control and tucked the sense of the rapper back in his pajama clothes.
I mean, it was more so so you riding with Drake, so you about to catch a stray. Because you on tour with him, you frolicking around with Drake, and you know I really don't rock with Drake like that. Yeah. So You about to feel it too. Y'all tried to get me on the song. I didn't want to be on the song.
Yep.
But then you referenced me.
Yep.
So it's almost like, I wouldn't say baiting, but it's like you want to group me in with y'all, but I don't want to be with y'all like that. Now, if it's me and you, Cole, then that's different.
Right.
But you know how I feel about Drake. So when you talk about a big three, it's just Big Me at this point.
Yep.
And that's how I took Kendrick's side of things. As far as Cole is concerned, I feel like he could have went without addressing it, but it kind of goes against it. It's almost ironic because he talks about wanting to appease, or these certain artists appeasing the masses or the fans, so to speak. And he kind of did the same thing by actually making this song.
To attain some old props from strangers that don't got a clue what I've been aiming for since the age of 14.
But bowing out at the same time.
I feel like we're talking about 7 Minute Drill.
Well,
I feel like 7 Minute Drill was more of that than this one.
But he was saying playing to the algorithm in the AI, you know, that type of thing. He mentioned that. Yeah. So you mention it, but you're technically doing the same thing because now you have attention on yourself, which is probably leading again to a rollout. And he kind of felt like he had to address it because people have been calling him a punk. Now, they can still call him a punk based off of this release, but the thing about Cole is he can really rap. So this sounds good, but as a hip hop head or somebody that likes the thrill of people sparring, I think he probably should have got in there if he was going to do it or leave it alone altogether.
As somebody who I like the new record, I remixed it, dropped it the same day.
Talk to him. Talk to him.
Flipped the same sample.
Talk to him.
So you can look that up. But my only thing with this verse is and you know, I feel like it kind of showcases the complicatedness of being a human in general. You know, like he kind of says one thing, but then he kind of does the other thing in an interesting type of manner to where he's kind of being like
contradicting himself.
He's kind of contradicting himself, and that would be my only critique of this. If I would really, you know, this whole beef and everything is under a huge microscope, which is why we're looking at it as such. I feel like songs come out all the time that are the same, that we don't do this, but that would be my only thing. It's like he's saying a whole bunch of stuff, and I feel like he's still kind of playing with his ego a little bit because, you know, if you really felt 100% about, you know, one of these ways, you wouldn't make the reference over here and vice versa. So I don't know.
Yeah. Two, he says that he doesn't want to have that title.
Yeah.
But prior releases would beg to differ.
Yeah.
I mean, everybody heard the song. I don't know the title of it, but he's talking about who's the king, Cole's the king. So when it comes to wanting to be at the top of the game, he definitely wants to be at the top of the game, and you definitely want that spot. But it felt like maybe he felt like it was going to dirty up his image if he got in there and slung mud with Drake and Kendrick, but it wouldn't have been the same thing.
I think maybe deep down, he's got the same feelings of Andre that we just talked about a few weeks ago. Remember when Andre was like, I don't feel like I was meant to be a rapper.
Oh, from the beef aspect. Yeah.
So maybe that's part
But
of it.
I don't see that from Cole, though.
Maybe not.
Cole takes shots at people.
Yeah.
He took shots at Kanye. That was part of his rollout leading into For Your Eyes Only. Remember that?
Yeah.
He's taking shots at, who is it? Not Lil Peep, but Lil Pump.
Yeah.
He's taking shots at.
But didn't he reconcile with Lil Pump? Wasn't the
maybe on Middle Child or something? I don't know.
There was a record where
there was a conversation
where he kind of
that's true.
There was a conversation, but I know there was a record where he kind of explained where he was going as it related to that. I do remember that part.
Yeah. So Cole doesn't seem to like. I mean, granted, he is one of the top three.
Absolutely.
So it's not like there's much more upward that he can. It's not like he can punch upward that
I
much.
wouldn't call him 3.
No, he's definitely 2 to me. You know, like Drake isn't even in the top 3 to me. I mean, he is as far as popularity is concerned, but that's it.
Well, if we're talking about them in this,
yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's like Kendrick, Kendrick Cole, and then a bunch of other people, and then Drake can have, you know, I don't know. He doesn't even rap, really.
I mean, you got to give it to Drake at the end of the day, man.
I don't.
You kind of do, though. I mean, although we've been calling him a pop star since the beginning of this podcast.
Yes.
Which is what he is.
It is true. But in the grand scheme of things, when it comes to this rap shit, he is definitely included in that top 3. When it went from there time in this game because they all
100%.
kind of came in at the same time and they're all at the top of the game at the same time.
I think it just depends on the metrics. And I feel like for my metrics, I would say no. But for most people's metrics, I would agree with you.
I mean, he's there. I'd have him in the. You want to do the three of them? That's
and he
perfectly
can
fine.
rap.
Yeah,
He can
but
rap.
His ass off.
But I
Yeah,
clearly
he's
have
dope.
him at number 3 when it comes to rappers.
Well-
you put in those, if you say, hey, if it's this the big 3, Drake is clearly 3rd.
Yeah.
Well,
it's not even close.
Even with I'm over the whole thing. I haven't been enthused about this battle for a while because it's been pretty much what I've, just my personal opinion. I haven't been too excited about it because I've already thought in my mind how this is going.
Right.
So I don't want to, get too deep into it. As for the record, I don't want his ability to rap to get outshined because he's extremely nice.
Whose ability?
J. Cole.
Oh no,
On this
that's
record,
not in question.
Yeah, he's extremely nice and he blacked all the way out for the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
As it relates to Terry's point about the competitive nature, if we're looking at it from that angle, this is not necessary. Like, there's no need for you to even try to come back and circle the wagons at this point because
the thing about it is that's the competitor in him.
Well,
he has to acknowledge it, although he conceded.
I can feel he's conflicted.
That's it. You beat me to it. He's fighting himself because he is a competitor. So I see that part. But to me, it's not necessary, bro. You already bowed out. You already said you were cool. Everybody, I'm staying away. Just rap.
And maybe Kendrick's always known this. Maybe that I feel. What was his line? I feel you're conflicted. I'm feeling.
Yeah.
I remember you was conflicted.
Maybe it actually was towards Cole. And all the other shots were towards Drake.
Look, I listen to Kendrick's music. I listen to All the Stars from the Black Panther. I was like, this might have been about Drake too.
Man,
That record is dope, by the way.
it's very dope.
I know, but like when you listen to it now, considering everything that's happened, I was like, yeah, this is about Drake too.
I mean, I know how you feel about people, but
You don't have to address that every time you say people, man.
but I do because he hates them.
I
He
love
hates
that it
them.
lives in your memory.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's
I remember
wild.
that you hate them.
It's
I remember
eating
that.
at you.
He doesn't hate people. It's when you bring them up.
Yeah, I just
Okay,
don't.
we
why
actually
do I
love people, and we need
We do,
people
yeah, I know we
to
do,
tune
but
in,
especially if you
and enjoy
become a
our
Patreon.
I ain't say he don't like the people that are patrons or the people in the chat. He love y'all, but
I don't
in
care
general,
about random people's
There it
opinions.
is.
Why do we care?
It is.
I don't care about John that lives across the street that thinks that Drake is the best rapper. Who is John? I don't care.
Who is John? Not John, man.
Don't shout him out.
But nah, man. You see multiple flips of this. J. Cole really won in the end, and he just.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, calm
I'm
down.
like, fan, like, what are y'all talking about, man? I'm so over it, bro. Like, he's a dope rapper. I don't think it was necessary, and that record is cold. That's where I'm at with it. I don't really care,
man. He conceded.
I don't really care.
He conceded.
He did.
He did not win.
Yep.
And that boy-
technically, his 7-minute drill was a throwaway because it was on might delete later, and it got deleted.
He threw it
That's
away.
tough.
So
That's tough.
He literally threw it away.
he threw it away. There is no Cole won this battle because he conceded.
You can't win and throw a track away.
You can't.
Thank you, my
Because
friend.
the
Thank
metrics
you.
and the algorithm that he speaks of would beg to differ. Because Kendrick, we talk about how Kendrick doesn't do this and doesn't do that. Kendrick lived in the moment, and he still has a big event coming up that was probably partly because of this beef.
Yeah.
Well, you talk about a lot of people that grown men that's gonna be mad, boy. Around that time, it's gonna be real bad out here. We're gonna have some. You'll see. But shout out to Cole, man. Cole blacked out. Record's dope. That's what I got for y'all.
Indeed.